Title: My parents left me a broken cabin in the middle of Alaska while my brother got their $800,000 mansion in New York. My fiancé called me a pathetic loser and stormed out. Heartbroken and alone, I fled to Alaska, and when I opened the cabin door, I knew something was wrong the moment I stepped off the bush plane and the cold bit through my jacket. It felt deliberate, intentional, that kind of chill. The kind meant to humble a man, or break him. And maybe that was the point. I replayed the last thing my fiancée said before she slammed the front door behind her. "You're a pathetic loser, Daniel. Even your parents knew it." Funny how venom sticks. Funnier how it fuels. When the lawyer read the will, I sat there numb while my brother smirked, already calculating renovations for the mansion he inherited. Meanwhile, I got a cabin, a rotted shack in the Alaskan interior, a joke, a punishment, a final parental shrug. I didn't fight it, didn't defend myself, didn't stay to watch them celebrate. I just left. The snow swallowed my footsteps as I approached the cabin, a door barely hanging on its hinges, windows cracked like old bones, a place abandoned by more than time. But inside was warmth, lights on, and a black duffel bag on the table waiting like a loyal dog. I remember the weight of the zipper as I pulled it, and then silence. Thick, heavy silence as I stared at stacks of cash, hundreds, thousands, bricks, neatly arranged. $50 million. I touched one stack. The paper was warm, as if someone had just placed it there. I should have felt relieved, saved, lucky. Instead, I felt watched. On top of the cash, a single envelope, my father's handwriting, 2 words, "I'm sorry." That was the moment everything shifted. My father was a quiet man, a man who taught me patience, taught my brother charm, and taught my mother how to pretend everything was fine. We were the picture of normal, but I always sensed a fracture beneath us, hairline, subtle, but growing. They pushed my brother toward law. They pushed me nowhere. I told myself it didn't matter. I lied. My fiancée loved my brother more than she loved me, just in different currency. His success fed her ego. My stagnation starved it. But my father, he looked at me differently, with guilt, with worry, as if he carried a secret he couldn't bear to spill. Turns out he did. There was a flash drive taped beneath the bag, duct-taped crudely as if placed in a hurry. My father's voice crackled through the old laptop speakers, shaky but controlled. He said the cabin was never meant to be inherited. It was a dead drop, a hideout. The money wasn't theirs, it was payment. My brother had been laundering for clients his law firm didn't know about. When the investigation tightened, my father took the fall to protect him, handed over evidence, moved money, bought his son's freedom in silence. But my brother didn't stop. My father tried to intervene. My brother threatened him. My mother turned a blind eye. And when my father realized the feds were circling again with enough evidence to put the entire family in prison, he hid the only leverage he had left, the dirty money. He left it to me. Not because he trusted me, but because I was the only one he hadn't lied to. My pulse didn't race. My hands didn't shake. I just sat there, letting the truth settle like ash. They didn't think I was capable of using it. They were wrong. Revenge is elegant when done slowly. First, I documented everything on the drive. Every transfer, every involuntary signature my father was forced to make. Every threatening email from my brother. Then I cleaned the cabin, repaired the locks, installed cameras, became a ghost. From Alaska, no one thinks you're capable of much. Perfect. I opened 3 offshore accounts, one under my brother's name, one under his wife's, and one under a shell corporation his firm used. I transferred small amounts at first, traceable enough to mimic his pattern, large enough to raise questions. Then I emailed the evidence, anonymously, to the feds, the IRS, and most importantly, his law partners. Just enough to make them watch him closely. And then I waited. The trigger was small, a $200K transfer I routed through his firm without touching it. It appeared in their quarterly audit like a tumor. My brother called me 3 times that night. I let it ring. By the time the freeze notices hit his accounts, the partners had already filed internal complaints. The feds were requesting interviews. His wife found the new secret offshore account opened in her name. I pictured the panic in his eyes, the way he'd blame everyone but himself. And still, I waited. The final blow came 2 weeks later. I hired a courier to deliver an envelope to his office. Inside, a single $100 bill and a copy of my father's apology letter. No threats, no explanation, just truth. My brother cornered me months later, outside a diner in Anchorage, snow falling, his breath frantic. "You ruined my life," he hissed. "You think they'll believe I did all that?" I looked him in the eye, really looked, and for the first time, he understood he'd never known me at all. "I didn't ruin anything," I said. "You did. I just let the world see it." He swung first. He always had a temper. He also always underestimated me. The cops pulled him off me. The warrants were executed the next morning. Now I sit in the cabin, the same cold room that once felt like an insult. The fire crackles, the cash is hidden. My fiancée tried to reach out once she heard about the mansion being seized. I never responded. In the quiet, I finally understand what my father meant by "I'm sorry." He wasn't apologizing for the inheritance. He was apologizing for the truth he left me to uncover. I'm not the loser they thought I was. I'm the reckoning they never saw coming. And I sleep just fine.